good. Feeling great. So, yeah, man, not a whole lot. Just glad to be here and talking about the Hurricanes as we are wont to do on this here program. So yeah, man. And I mean, I get that he's not a national championship coach, but like, I mean, Mario Cristobal is known for winning, his division and Rose Bowls and the no longer existing Pac-12, but this is a guy that has a track record of success, and kind of before we even get anywhere, well, and yes, one of, if not, I mean, one of the best recruiting head coaches around. Everybody knows that. That's verifiably true. But there is a history of success with his teams on the field, winning games that I think is maybe being mitigated a little bit. I know that people are going to roll their eyes when I bring up the name, but like, it's a person that I know and I don't have a problem with. But Bud Elliott of CBS Sports and the Cover 3 podcast, formerly Tomahawk Nation managing editor and things like that. He tweeted something where he said basically somebody was talking about Deion getting fired in the middle of the season or something. And Bud quoted that tweet and said, so basically, if you, as I, Bud, believe in Deion, an 8 or 9 win season is totally in the cards. And I quoted it back for everybody. I didn't even DM him or text him. I said, you believe in Deion? To which he replied, well, you believe in Mario. And I'm like, yeah, but those are not the same thing, brother. Like, they're just not. In terms of recruiting, in terms of on-field success and everything. And no, it has not been at Miami to this point or anything. But like, hopefully this is a season that has the success that kind of reminds people like, yeah, I know that he's old school and, wants to run the football even, when we should have just taken a knee. And of course, I saw all the deluge of jokes of, oh, there's going to be a victory formation setting in the college football game. So Miami Hurricanes fans can rest easy with that. And you could, yeah, I know, fine. Like, we'll take that. But like, I think that maybe like we're underrating Mario Cristobal at this point with a little bit of recency bias affecting that. And I just want to put that out there. And I'm not here saying that he's the best coach in the world. There's clearly growth areas and things like that, but just like, I just think it's like, yeah, to like make a comparison between like, if you are believing in Deion or believing it is the same as believing in what Mario Cristobal. If you're believing what Deion is building in Colorado, it's the same as believing what Mario Cristobal is building in Miami. And for a number of reasons, I just think that that's a false equivalency. And I just want to put that out there because I know that a lot of you guys follow me on social media and you might have seen that. And just my initial thought as with your opening statement.
Well, first of all, when you bring up the game, and as we've talked video games in this particular release, you know that I'm not aware, don't get myself involved, don't play the game or anything like that. But as soon as you stated that about the formation, I thought, I got to think that there's going to be someone who's going to try to recreate that situation, possibly between Georgia Tech and Miami.
Absolutely.
More pertinent to the conversation. Yes, when it came out of my mouth, the opening statement, I did not state that clearly based on my beliefs and what is consistent with my analysis of Mario Cristobal and has been since the time that we've evaluated him here on this show and on this channel. I would say it this way. Discounting everything he did in the group of 5, just focusing on Oregon and Miami. He took an Oregon program that had been elite under Chip Kelly and in that era, but took a dip under Mark Helfrich, who was not a good caretaker after leading them to a national championship game. So he took, and Willie Taggart, so he took a program that was middling at that point, was struggling, and he certainly elevated them.
Yeah.
Won a Rose Bowl, won a Pac-12 championship or 2, technically won two, even though one was with a 4-3 football team, won a Pac-12 championship in the COVID year. So he won two. And so that would be what I would consider to be a really good job at Oregon on the field. I wouldn't say it was A or A. I'd give him a solid B+ in that range.
And I think that that's fair. And I just think that a lot of the chatter recently has been like lower than that. And I mean, like, look, FIU was one of the worst teams in captivity when he took that job, and won a conference or won a division, excuse me, and had multiple guys who played multiple years in the league. Jonathan Cyprian, T.Y. Hilton, and I'm not going to say that it was every single player, but when you have guys of that caliber coming from FIU, like, come on, like, you know how to coach, So yeah, I just wanted to, put that out there. And again, it's been a week since we spoke, or in general. So yeah, in terms of recruiting,
hang on, Cam.
Excuse me.
Just give me one more statement, because
go ahead.
Let's just very briefly on Miami. If we take away all of the periphery, which is obviously the recruiting, the transfer portal, and any other vibes or indicators you get from him building the program, these 2 seasons on the field, for what Miami's recruited talent and the roster composition going into his tenure was. Now, that's not for me the complete vibe or the complete story going into 2024, because I think it's much better than that when you put it all into context and see what he's doing off the field and in the recruiting rankings, in the transfer portal, and they just picked up the best transfer quarterback in the nation. You can't just look at the win-loss. But as somebody once famously stated, you are what you are, the wins and losses, and not good with one game under 500 after 2 years.
Also true, so yes, all of that is, again, in the same way, is true. You are who your record says you are, and things like that. I think that that's more in terms of an individual season, than anything. But but we've seen him build a program into a place of contention, and I think that we're going to see that hopefully this year, and moving forward.